Have you ever thought that you can be free of the burdens of the past? No regrets, no grudges, no old hurts. Holding on to the past is like carrying a heavy weight. It slows us down and dims our joy. Stoicism offers us a better way. It shows us how to leave that weight behind. Letting go is a core skill in Stoicism, and today, in this video, we'll learn how to do it and do it right. It all starts with acceptance. This is where we begin our journey to wellness. On this foundation, the Stoics knew the power of acceptance. They taught that you should accept what you cannot control. This means focus your energy wisely on what you can influence. You have a limited amount of it, so you have to use it well. Think of it like this. A broken vase is a broken vase. Worrying won't put it back together after an accident. But you can learn from the accident, from how the vase broke and why it broke. You can be more careful next time, and you can clean up the mess. The temptation is to replay past scenarios endlessly in our heads. If only I had listened to my gut. If only I had sold my investment when it was up. I'm so stupid. You beat yourself up. You lose sleep. You become anxious and irritable. But how much energy is that regret costing you? Energy that could be channeled into learning a new skill, building a business, or even just being present with your family. The Stoic approach isn't to deny that the mistake happened or to pretend it doesn't matter. It's to acknowledge it, understand the lessons it provides, and then consciously release it. Accept that the past is done and move on. This is the first step in letting go. Stoicism teaches us to accept what's done. We can't control past events. Marcus Aurelius said it best. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and find strength. Don't let your past define you. Let it refine you. Embrace the present moment. In the end, it's the only sure thing all of us have. So we start by looking at why the thing we're trying to let go of has a hold on us. Next, we think about what we're going to replace it with inside our heads. To do this, we need to talk about stories. They shape our reality. They dictate how we feel. Think about it this way. Events are neutral. It's our interpretation of those events that gives them their emotional weight. An example would be, if someone cuts you off in traffic, that's the event. The story you tell yourself, this person is deliberately trying to ruin my day, versus maybe they're rushing to the hospital, dictates whether you feel anger and frustration or shrug it off. And that's where the power lies. If our feelings are dependent on the story we tell, then by changing the story, we can change the feeling. Someone doesn't text you back. The story could be, no one cares about me. But a more Stoic story would be, they're probably busy. It doesn't reflect on my inherent worth. I'll reach out again later, or I won't. But either way, I'll be okay. Choosing that narrative makes you more resilient. It acknowledges the situation, but refuses to let it define your emotional state. It recognizes that you have control over your response, even if you can't control the initial event. Think of a time you felt wronged. What story did you tell yourself? Was it one of victimhood or strength? You can choose a new narrative, one that empowers and uplifts you, one that serves you by placing your needs first. So how do you rewrite your stories? It starts with asking questions, powerful, insightful questions. What did I learn from this? How can I grow as a person? What opportunities lie ahead for me? These questions shift your focus. They take you from past to future. They reveal hidden potential. Use them to think better. Seneca said it best. Every new beginning, he wrote, comes from some other beginning's end. What he means is that reinvention is not a failure. It is proof of your true strength. It shows the ability to learn. Challenges are growth opportunities. They are chances to transform. They reshape us into our best selves. Remember, life is ever changing. Accept this as a fundamental truth. Adapt to what life throws at you. It takes strength to acknowledge that something isn't working, to let go of what you thought you knew, and to forge a new path. It requires courage to step outside of your comfort zone and explore new possibilities. Think of a potter working with clay. If the clay cracks or collapses, they don't just throw it away. They rework it, they reshape it, they add water, they start again. And often, the second iteration is even stronger, even more beautiful than the first. We can approach our lives in the same way. This brings us to a difficult hurdle, one that can block us from doing this. It's the fear of what people think. This fear can paralyze our growth. How often do we hold back? It's often because of a perceived reputation. We worry about judgment and scrutiny. But what if our reputation is an illusion, a projection of our own insecurities? It's time to challenge those fears. Question their validity. Are they based on solid evidence or just on anxieties that you've internalized? What's the worst that could actually happen if you were to let go of that need for external validation? The truth is, often the worst outcome is simply a fleeting moment of discomfort, a raised eyebrow, a whispered comment that will quickly fade into the background noise of life. But the reward for taking that risk, for prioritizing your own well-being over the illusion of reputation, is immeasurable. It's the freedom to be yourself, to pursue your passions, to live a life aligned with your values, not with the expectations of others. Seneca asked, "How long will you wait?" And he's right. How long are you going to wait before you exert yourself to live your best life? We have to challenge our fears head-on. Stoicism is not about external validation, because your value is not based on others' opinions. It isn't based on stuff that happened decades ago. If it helps, you can think of your past as a museum, a place to visit, not to live in. There are things to see and learn, but you can't stay there forever. Reflection helps us gain wisdom, but dwelling can trap us in pain. It's the difference between learning and reliving old mistakes. In some cases, we must choose to disengage. Step away from unproductive thoughts. It takes practice, but it's possible. You must actively want to separate for this to work. But if you want to, and you work at it, you can. Talk to friends, write your thoughts down, or talk to a mental health professional. Do this, and you can create distance where it didn't exist before. One way to move on from the past is to plan new activities now. Explore activities unrelated to your past. Venture into new hobbies and interests. This is all part of moving on. Mindfulness is also a great tool. It helps you stay in the present. Pay attention to your breath and body. A wandering mind is often an unhappy one. And keep a beginner's mind about all this to help you learn faster. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, said, "Every master was once a beginner too." Stephen McCraney, a modern writer, said, "The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried." Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is a stepping stone to success. Embrace setbacks as chances to learn. Patience is crucial to the Stoic path. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. Be kind to yourself along the way. And alongside patience, we need persistence. There will be days when you feel like you're making no progress at all, when the urge to cling to what you know is overwhelming. That's normal. That's part of the journey. The key is to keep showing up, to keep practicing, to keep reminding yourself of your goal. Inner peace through acceptance and detachment. Understand that growth is never linear. Accept that some days will be harder. Along those lines, don't beat yourself up for mistakes. Learn from them and move forward. Each mistake is a lesson learned. Focus on steady, sustainable growth. Small steps, consistently applied, matter. Aim for progress over perfection. A good question to ask yourself is, what would you do if you knew no one was keeping score? Strip away the expectations, the pressures, the fear of judgment. What remains? That, my friends, is where you'll find your true north. So many of us are trapped in cycles of seeking external validation. We chase promotions, buy things we don't need, and contort ourselves into shapes we don't fit, all in the hopes of earning approval. But the Stoics understood that true fulfillment comes from within. It's about aligning your actions with your values, regardless of the applause or criticism that may come your way. The reason is because external validation is a trap. It makes you a puppet on strings. Others control your actions and emotions. Intrinsic motivation is the antidote. This comes from within, from your core. It fuels your purpose and passion. The Stoic way is to act authentically, discover your passions, and pursue them fearlessly. Do this regardless of other opinions. Your life is your own story to write. A fulfilling life begins with understanding your values. What truly matters to you? Is it integrity? Is it family? Is it service? Identifying your core values is like setting the compass for your journey. It guides your decisions and helps you stay on course, even when things get rough. Next, think about your goals. What do you want to achieve in your career and relationships? Be specific. Don't just say, "I want to be happy." Ask yourself, what does happiness look like for me? What actions would make me feel happy? Finally, and this is crucial, break down those goals into smaller, actionable steps. Don't get overwhelmed by the enormity of it all. What's one small thing you can do today, this week, this month, to move closer to your desired outcome? Focus on those small steps, celebrate your progress, and keep moving forward. Remember, even the longest journey begins with a single step. Don't wait for life to happen to you. Go out and make it happen. Channel your inner Stoic leader. Each small step builds momentum. Momentum creates real change. So take that first step now. Embody action over analysis. While thinking is obviously important, overthinking can become a form of paralysis. It stops us from doing what matters. What happens when we overthink? We end up underfeeling everything. We miss the joy of experience. We lose sight of the present moment. Walt Disney, a leader who wrote the book on turning dreams into reality, once said, "The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing." That sentiment is incredibly Stoic. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Don't wait for all the answers, because they simply won't come. Movement itself can create momentum. Clarity comes from the doing. It does not come from more thinking. Even imperfect action is progress. Any progress is better than nothing. Just keep going toward your goals. Now, let's talk about momentum. Momentum is key to mastering letting go. It comes from consistent, unbroken action. Think of a massive boulder. You can't move it with one push, but repeated efforts will make it roll. Consistent actions are far more effective. They beat grand gestures every time. Think slow and steady wins the race. Dale Carnegie said it perfectly. Inaction breeds doubt and fear, while action breeds confidence and courage. Small wins fuel bigger achievements. Each action builds upon the last. Over time, this reduces anxiety about outcomes. Sustainable habits are the goal. Create habits supporting desired outcomes. These give you a sense of control. These also reduce fear of the unknown. This is a hallmark of Stoic acceptance. It makes letting go that much easier. So how do you take back control? With an action plan. That's how. It turns Stoic theory into real change. A roadmap helps you make progress. It keeps you from getting lost. Right now, start thinking about how you'll build that roadmap. First, find the problems. What can I control? What can't I control? Write it down. With that as your base, set realistic goals. Don't try to change everything at once. One small change can make a difference, and many small changes can change everything. So break those goals into small tasks. Big steps are scary. Small ones aren't. Small victories build momentum and drive. Finally, seek accountability. Tell a friend what you plan to do. Ask them to check in on you weekly. You might even do the same for them. Accountability helps you stay on track. It turns intentions into actions. And while you're telling your plan for the sake of accountability, refine it. A clear plan boosts your odds of success. This is true for anything in life. Make things clearer, and you'll do better. So, now you've thought about the causes of an inability to let go, and beyond that, you've come up with a plan. So respect it by taking action daily. Don't let your plans gather dust. As Seneca once said, count each separate day as a life. On that note, what can you do today? Perhaps you journal about your fears. Maybe you practice mindful breathing. Or maybe you reach out to a friend. Don't underestimate small actions. They compound over time. Soon, you'll see a huge difference. The best thing you can do here is to turn actions into habits. Habits are important because they reinforce our goals. Think of them as positive feedback loops. Good habits can help by reshaping your perspective. They change how you react. They can literally change your body. Take exercise. It releases endorphins in your body. Endorphins help reduce stress. Less stress means easier letting go. Or consider meditation and mindfulness. These calm your mind naturally. A focused mind understands what's in control. It's then easier to let go of the rest. These practices aren't magic. They rewire how you process things. They help you become more resilient. So pick one good habit today. Integrate it into your daily life. Go from there. You'll be building the life you want in no time. Now, let's return to the core Stoic teaching. Do what you can with what you have. Focus only on your sphere of influence. This means knowing where to invest your effort. It means knowing what is worth your time. It's about strategic allocation of resources. As Epictetus said, the chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control, and which have to do with the choices I actually control. This is the heart of practical Stoicism. This is the pathway toward liberation. It starts with understanding what you can and can't control. Let's take an example. Imagine you're stuck in traffic. You're going to be late for your meeting. You feel your blood pressure rise. Your thoughts race with frustration. You might honk your horn, to no avail. A Stoic understands the futility. The traffic is outside of your control. Honking won't change the situation. Instead, shift your focus inward. Contact the meeting organizer. Let them know you'll be arriving late. Now, it's time to take action. Begin your own letting go journey today. You hold the power to change. Don't wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment rarely exists. Start now with what you have. But we've covered a lot. How do we start? Let's look at a few practical steps. First, create an action plan. Write down what you want to release. Then, think about how you can release it. Break down big goals into smaller steps. Don't feel pressured to do it all at once. Little changes make a big difference. Second, start journaling about your fears. What is holding you back from letting go? Writing helps you understand these fears. It's a way to process difficult emotions. Acknowledge your fears, then challenge them. Are they really true? Third, reach out to a support group. Find friends or family you trust. Talking helps you feel supported and understood. Consider a therapist or a coach. Professionals offer valuable perspectives. They can give you new coping strategies. Remember, every small step counts. Each effort moves you closer to freedom. You are not alone in this process. Believe in your ability to change. You have the power to create your future. Embrace the art of letting go. So, what have we learned? Letting go brings freedom. It is a freedom from distress. It's control over your inner peace. We release what harms us. We accept what we cannot change. We focus on what we can control. This path is not easy. It will be challenging, no doubt, but it's a liberating path. Imagine the weight lifted. See the lightness you will feel. Know the strength you will gain. Let go of what you can't control. Focus on what you truly can. This is the Stoic freedom. Letting go is a superpower. Use it wisely, my friends. It is always there for you. Remember that you are strong. You have inner resources to tap. You have the power to change. Embrace this process, one step at a time. You will get there. So start now. Let go of the pain of the past and embrace the future you deserve today.